Hi everyone, and welcome to lesson 3 part 2. So in this lesson we're going to have a look at how we read and spell this particular word. So we need to try and figure out how to put the sounds to the letters, okay, particularly if we don't recognise this word. So the first thing that we're going to actually do is we're going to split it into its syllables, okay. So to do that I'm going to underline vowels. Now when you have an R and an E, they actually stay together, so I'm kind of going to underline both of those, okay? And then we can see that I've underlined 2 vowel sounds, okay? Then we have a look at the consonants. I've got 2 consonants here in the middle of those vowel sounds. So I'm going to split it down the middle here. And then I'm going to end up with 2 chunks. So my first chunk is going to say this. And my second chunk will have this on it. Okay, so let's have a look at this first chunk. Now this is actually our little phonic rule that we're going to be covering today. When you have a K followed by the E, so a C followed by an E, okay, it makes a S sound, it softens it, okay, and we like to say that the letter E makes a softy of C, makes it into a S sound. So this first chunk, what we're going to look at is this first chunk to read it, okay, so it says S-E-N, sen. Although it makes a softy of the C sound to make it a S, it still also has sound itself. It's a closed syllable. I don't know if you remember that from lesson 2, where you have a consonant in the syllable chunk. The vowel will get its short sound, of the E sound. So this first chunk is S-E-N, sen. The second chunk is T, okay? There's your T, those two make your sound. So put it all together and we've got the word centre, okay? Now, we've done that to read it. You can also do that, obviously, to spell it. So this time, we're going to be saying the word verbally, okay? So you've got the word centre. So if we had to chunk that down, then we might go sen. Okay, now, problem. We know 2 ways of making a S sound. We know you can make it like that. And we now know you can also make it with a CE. So how are we going to decide which one to use? Well, I like to write them both out. So I might write out centre, the top one, and then centre, the bottom one. Hopefully, your visual memory is going to tell you that this one is wrong, okay? But that won't be the case for everybody, all right? Not everybody will be able to look at these and say, well, which one is right and which one is wrong. Now, if you're one of those students that finds it very hard to look at a word, then using the skill of visualising your spellings will actually help you, because it will help you fix a picture of the word in your head. And this is a little bit of a weird technique, all right, but stay with me because it does work. What you need to do is you look up to your left and you start to visualise all the words that are in the correct spelling, okay? So obviously we don't want to do that one because that one's wrong. We want to do it for this one, okay? So you look up to your left and you would visualise a C and E, and then the N and the T, the R and the E, okay? And then try and see the word in your mind's eye. It's like you're taking a photograph of that word, okay? And that will help you when you come to spell this in your own work. And if you've tried the 2 different ways of making your S sound, and you've got to decide which is the right way, then hopefully if you've done some visualisation, it will tell you it's this one. If you're lucky enough to already have a strong visual memory, then this one probably would have come screaming out at you as being the right one to use. The other way you can think about it is think about perhaps other words that are linked to it, okay? And other words that are linked to this one are the word central. Let me do that in red as well. You notice that whenever I want to draw attention to a piece in the spelling, I'm using a different colour, okay? And this is something you can do for yourself as well. So the word central, and it's also connected with the word centralise as well. Okay. And in fact, centralise can be made with a Z or an S. So I think actually I'll throw the S spelling, so with this an S. So, centre. The important thing to know here is your S sound is being made by the C and the E. Now there's another letter that makes a softy of C. And that is the letter I. So if we look at this word, if we don't know how to read that, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to underline our vowels, just split it up into our chunks first of all. So we can underline, that's obviously a vowel. Y is one of our funny little letters. That also can be both a consonant or a vowel. When it's on the end of the word like it is here, it is a vowel sound. So we're going to underline it as if it's a vowel. Now, we've only got one consonant here. For ease for today, I'm just going to show you where we split it, which is here. And the reason we split, well, I'll tell you why in a minute actually. Let's just write the chunks up. So, we've got two chunks again. Our first chunk says this. And our second chunk says this. So now we've got to put the sounds to the letters to be able to read the word, okay? So my first chunk, I just said that the I makes a softy of C, just like the E does. So we've got another S sound here. We've also got a closed syllable. We've got a consonant within that syllable chunk, okay? So this word says sit, or this chunk, sorry, says sit. Now you have to know, do you remember, oh, I can't remember if I told you actually, but you do have to know the individual sounds of all the letters, okay? And this letter, when it's on the end of a word like this, makes an E sound, all right? So we know that last chunk says E. So we've got city, city, okay? Now, just like centre, if you're going to spell this in your own writing, you're going to go through the same loop probably, and thinking about the different ways you know of making the S sound. So, we know we could make it like this, or we can make it like the second one, okay? Now again, the first one is wrong. If you're not sure, hopefully your visual memory will tell you that. If you didn't get that, then you need to perhaps do a little bit of visualization to learn the spelling. You could also think about some other words it's connected to. So it's connected to the word citizen. Okay, somebody really who lives, I guess originally, in a city was a citizen. Now, you might not know exactly how to spell citizen, but you may know it starts with C-I. And if you can connect these two words together, it kind of just helps you to kind of have somewhere else to get that knowledge from, okay? It's also connected to the word citadel, which is maybe not a word you're very familiar with, okay? But I'll give you another word to connect it to. Now, this soft C can also come in the middle of a word. We've done two words where it's at the start, but you have to be aware that a soft C can actually be in the middle of the word. So let's have a look at another one. So let's have a look at this word. And I'm going to put soft C in a different colour. Okay, so not too sure how to say this one. So again, we're going to underline. Oh, I can hear my dog barking. So we're going to underline our vowels. Okay, our vowel sounds. Okay, in this case, they're both just made with one vowel. But they could be made with two vowels, okay, for one vowel sound. So we've underlined it. Now we're going to split the word here. And we're then going to read the two chunks. Now this time, we've got our first chunk, it says this. And we've got our second chunk like this. Now, I've split it here because I know that this is a prefix, all right? And when you have a prefix, that's like a little chunk by itself, and that will come away. Now, you might say, well, that's fine, but how am I going to do this? Well, the thing is that when you've got your two vowels underlined, you're going to have to decide which side of this consonant that you're going to split. If you split it here, then you're going to get a hard sound there, but you're also going to get a short sound here because you've got a closed syllable. So that would say rec, and then the second chunk would say ent. Rec, ent, okay? And I've never heard of a word like that. So then you have to think to yourself, well, I'm not really sure, I've never heard of that. So let me try and split it on the other side. So this time you might be getting to understand about prefixes, so you might recognise this as a prefix re, okay? It's a very common one. Because we don't have a consonant here, this is an open syllable, and therefore the vowel gets its long sound. So now we've got re. Now we've also reunited our C with our E, okay? So we've now got a S sound here. And we've now got the second chunk saying sent, recent. Yeah? Well, we've heard of recent, so we know that that works, okay? So really the key point here is to be aware that a soft C sound can happen in the middle of a word. All right, thank you very much.